Number 10, your tongue doesn't have taste zones. You've probably seen those colorful tongue maps. Sweet at the tip, salty on the sides, bitter in the back. Looks scientific, right? It's not. Your whole tongue can taste everything. The myth came from a mistranslation of a German study in the early 1900s. The original research found tiny differences in sensitivity, but someone turned that into a neat map, and the world believed it. In reality, taste buds are scattered across your tongue, and even in your cheeks, throat, and the roof of your mouth. Every area can detect sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. So no, you're not only tasting sugar with the tip of your tongue or bitter only in the back. That's just a myth that stuck around because it sounded cool and fit in textbooks. Your taste system is way more complex and way more interesting than a neat little flavor map. Number 9, you don't swallow 8 spiders a year in your sleep. You've probably heard it. The average person swallows 8 spiders a year while sleeping. Sounds horrifying, but it's pure fiction. Let's think this through. Your mouth isn't exactly inviting. It's warm, moist, and noisy. Basically a danger zone for spiders. Plus, people move, breathe, and even snore in their sleep. That alone would scare off most insects, especially spiders. Scientists, and actual arachnologists, say the odds of swallowing even one spider in your lifetime while asleep are extremely low. There's no scientific evidence this ever happens. So, where did the myth come from? Likely from a made-up example to show how fast misinformation spreads. Ironically, it worked, because now millions believe it. So rest easy. The only thing crawling into your mouth at night is probably a dry throat or a weird dream about school. Spiders? They want nothing to do with you. Number 8. The Great Wall of China is not visible from space. You've probably heard that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made object visible from space. It sounds epic, but it's not true. Astronauts have repeatedly said the wall is incredibly hard to see from low Earth orbit. It blends in with the natural landscape, same color, same texture. It's long, yes, but it's also narrow and made from local stone and dirt. From space, it's like trying to spot a hair on a carpet. What is visible from space? Highways, airports, massive cities. At night, the lights of human activity are far more obvious than a stone wall built centuries ago. So where did this myth start? Likely from old textbooks and travel books, long before we actually sent people into orbit. Once astronauts got up there, they realized, sorry, wall, you're just not that flashy from above. Still amazing, just not space-level amazing. Number 7. You don't need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. Drink 8 glasses of water every day. We've all heard it. It's one of those health rules people repeat like gospel. But here's the twist. It's not based on solid science. That number came from a 1940s study which actually said most of your daily water needs are met through food. Yes, food, fruits, vegetables, soups, tea, coffee, even bread, they all contain water. But that part of the message got lost. The truth is, your body is great at telling you what it needs. If you're thirsty, drink. If you're not, you're probably fine. Overhydrating, chugging water when you're not even thirsty, can actually harm you by diluting important minerals in your blood. So no, you don't need to carry a gallon jug everywhere you go. Hydration is important, but blindly chasing an arbitrary number? That's just another modern myth with a health halo. Number 6. Humans have only 5 senses. False. You've probably learned it in school. Humans have 5 senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. But that list is way too short. In reality, scientists say we have at least 9 to over 20 different senses. For example, there's proprioception, your sense of body position. Close your eyes and touch your nose, that's proprioception. Then there's equilibrioception, your sense of balance, plus pain, temperature, time, hunger, even the sense of when you have to pee, that counts too. These aren't superpowers. They're real, physical senses managed by your brain and nervous system. The 5 senses model came from Aristotle, and somehow we're still teaching it like it's the full story. So next time someone says humans only have 5 senses, kindly correct them, and maybe show off your ability to sense gravity, temperature, and awkward social energy. Number 5. Hair and nails don't keep growing after death. It sounds creepy, like something out of a horror movie. People say your hair and nails keep growing after you die. But nope, that's just an optical illusion, not zombie biology. Here's what's really happening. After death, your body starts to dry out. The skin dehydrates and shrinks, especially around the fingers and face. As the skin pulls back, it looks like the hair and nails are getting longer, but they're not actually growing at all. For real growth to happen, your body needs living cells, active metabolism, oxygen, nutrients, and guess what stops shortly after death? All of that. No cells, no growth, just slow, quiet decomposition. So despite the spooky image, you're not going to grow a majestic beard or vampire nails in your coffin. It's just dried out skin playing tricks on the eye. Death doesn't come with a makeover, no matter what the myths say. Number 4. Cracking your knuckles won't give you arthritis. You've definitely heard this one before. Stop cracking your knuckles or you'll get arthritis. Sounds scary, but it's totally false. The cracking sound isn't from bones grinding or joints wearing down. It's just gas bubbles popping in the synovial fluid between your joints. That's it. No damage. No doom. In fact, scientists have studied this for decades. One doctor famously cracked the knuckles of only one hand for over 60 years to test the theory. Guess what? No arthritis, and no difference between the hands. Medical research has backed this up repeatedly. There's zero link between knuckle cracking and joint disease. The worst you'll probably get is dirty looks from people around you, especially in quiet rooms. So while it might be annoying to others, your joints are just fine. Crack away. Just maybe not during a movie. Number 3. Bats are not blind. You've heard the saying, blind as a bat. But here's the truth. Bats are not blind. In fact, many bats have perfectly decent vision, and some species even see better than humans in low light. So where did the myth come from? Probably because bats use echolocation, a kind of biological sonar. They emit high-frequency sounds and listen for the echoes bouncing off nearby objects. That's how they hunt insects in total darkness. But echolocation isn't a replacement for eyesight. It's just a superpower they evolved for nighttime survival. Many fruit bats don't even use echolocation. They rely almost entirely on their vision to find food. So next time someone says, blind as a bat, you can hit them with some science. Bats see just fine. They just have extra senses most of us don't. If anything, calling someone as blind as a bat is an insult to bats. Number 2. Mount Everest is not the tallest mountain, kind of. Mount Everest gets all the glory for being the tallest mountain on Earth. But whether that's actually true depends on how you measure tallest. If you're measuring from sea level, yes, Everest wins, standing at a towering 8,848 meters. But if you measure from base to peak, the real winner is Mauna Kea in Hawaii. Most of that volcano is underwater, but from bottom to top, it's over 10,000 meters tall. And if we measure distance from the center of the Earth, another mountain takes the crown, Chimborazo in Ecuador. Thanks to the Earth's slight bulge at the equator, Chimborazo actually sticks out farther into space than Everest does. So Mount Everest is still massive, but it's not the only contender. It just happens to have the best PR team. Tallest? Maybe. Most famous? Definitely. Number 1. Toilets don't flush the other way in Australia. Because of the Coriolis effect. You've probably heard that toilets flush one way in the northern hemisphere and the opposite way in the southern hemisphere. All thanks to the Coriolis effect. Sounds scientific and cool, right? But it's actually a myth. The Coriolis effect does influence massive systems like hurricanes and ocean currents, which span hundreds of miles. But when it comes to your toilet, the effect is way too tiny to make a difference. How your toilet water spins depends mostly on the design of the bowl and the direction of the water jets, not the Earth's rotation. In fact, you could put 2 toilets right next to each other and have them flush in opposite directions. This myth probably caught on because people wanted a fun explanation for the difference between hemispheres. But toilets are just plumbing, not physics magic. So if you're planning a trip to Australia to see toilets flushing backwards, save your money. It's all about plumbing, not the Coriolis effect.